I know you're not supposed to make fun of fat people. I understand, all right? I don't know why, though. Why? They're not a race. They're not a religion. It's totally curable. Eat an apple and go for a walk.
So Hollywood threw out a few zingers over the last few days. It started when Disney began promoting childhood diabetes. They were actually celebrating fattening up the kids so they could waddle into a heart attack on the playground. And then you had a journalist who told 75% of Americans to sit out the Wakanda Forever premiere. It's not for you. You're not worthy. And then we go back to Amazon as always, and they've been radio silent about everything except for making excuses about why their billion-dollar disaster didn't fail, but they're going to learn from it. You know what? These guys never learn. But on the bright side, if they did, we wouldn't discover so many incredible new things. What's going on, everyone? Disney has spent years retooling the Mouse House into a rat trap that caters exclusively to the virtue signalers, people who contribute absolutely nothing to society except for hashtags, hot air, and increased sales for Johnson & Johnson's pacifiers. So would you be surprised when I shared with you that Hollywood Critics Association founder Scott Menzel pulled out his soapbox?
I challenge all non-POC critics, journalists big and small, to email their PR contacts and give up your seat to tonight's Wakanda Forever premiere, or tomorrow's screening to a critic or entertainment journalist of color. Voices matter. Representation matters.
None of that matters. The only thing that matters is freedom. Your freedom to choose your life. Your freedom to express yourself. Your freedom to be who you want to be. You want to be nice or kind? Good luck to you. You want to be an arrogant dick? God bless. Go on your path. Maybe you want to be a lovable ass like yours truly. Whatever you want to be, the choice is yours. Social justice activist says white people must skip Black Panther Wakanda Forever on opening weekend. To do anything other than this is anti-black. So Scott was inspired by activist Lavander Lee. She put out this video that I considered more to be like a job interview. She wants to go from a wannabe millionaire to the real deal. She wants to cash in on some of those multi-million-dollar homes that comes with a new job when you work for those grifting nonprofits that sell division for dollars.
This message is to all the white people who have BLM in their bio. Do not go see that movie opening weekend. You buy your ticket, you give it to a black person or a black family who can't afford to go. And then you go sit at that theater in front of the doors. You make sure that every black person in that theater can enjoy that movie in peace. You make sure that you use your body to block us from anybody who would be coming in that theater to do us harm.
Wow, the echo chamber must be really loud in her house. But correct me if I'm wrong. What I heard her actually say was, hey, Whitey, you get to the back of the bus. That's where you belong, because this is just for us. I don't think Dr. Martin Luther King, who died to bring the entire country together, not to have segregation, would be too happy. And B, she's saying on your way to the back of the bus, if you've already purchased theater tickets for Wakanda Forever, if you go there and you happen to see a black family, you know what you got to do. You got to walk up to them, shame everybody in front of their loved ones, say, hey, these tickets are on me. I'm being completely disrespectful because I'm considering you to be deadbeats who can't afford the tickets. But don't take it as condescending. And C, when you're sitting next to the exit door, if you happen to see any one of the mainstream media's illusionary villains wearing a red hat, you jump on them like white on rice. You start fighting them like you're fat Steven Seagal from your chair. You put your body into the mix and protect them all. These woke tards, they never learn. And they're not going to. But what's most important is what Disney did. Absolutely nothing. They didn't say a peep. There wasn't a creature stirring and not even a mouse. And that says it all, really, doesn't it? They should have put out a statement that says, hey, our doors are open to one and all. All of you are welcome. All the fans who built our kingdom. But, you know, they were too busy. They were too busy promoting their new animated short, Reflect. It's about a fat ballerina who's named Bianca, and she's trying to overcome her bad self-image when she looks in the mirror. The film's focus on Bianca's ability to overcome her overweight reflection through ballet is highlighted as she gracefully dances through colorful visuals on limber legs. Okay, That's it. I'm not going to read any further. We don't need to, because what Disney's doing here, their wires are crossed. They're trying to tell us that instead of this girl having the willpower, sending that message out there saying, like, I have this big dream. I want to be a ballerina, or I want to be athletic, or I want to be fit, or I want to have fun. They're saying that she had the willpower, the strength, the grace to be able to overcome reality that's staring her back in the mirror. See, once you live your life based on others' definitions, that's a straight road to the loony bin. You never do that. You live your life according to the authentic you, who you are, on your honor, on your courage, on your strength, and the truth. You don't live it based on the validation from other people, because that's what they're saying, that being obese is okay. You look at me. I didn't like the way they use the words plump. That's what they used to say when I was a kid. I was fat. I'm fat now. And that's why I started working out. Not because I care what other people think, because I want to be able to do all the things that I've always done. Run, jump, hide, go hunting, fishing. Anything that comes to my mind, I want my body to do it. And when I was younger, they used to use those words. Oh, plump, chunky, hefty, big bone. That doesn't help anyone. And see, we've gone from back then where they were really trying to be kind to now where they've completely removed shame. And because they've removed shame, everything is up for grabs. When shame is an important tool, it's like a compass. It tells us, are we on the right path? Are we on the wrong path? Is this good or is this bad? What are they telling those children out there? They're saying, hey, it's okay to be obese. Does it make you happy? Not a problem. You don't like what you see in the mirror? Don't worry about it. Embrace it. Have you ever really known anyone who truly loved being fat? If they say they do, come here. They're lying. No one likes being fat.
Fucking Chuck Norris.
That's disgusting. What are they going to do? Push next bulimia and anorexia? See, they want to program the next generation of push-button serfs and take-order clerks. They're wage slaves who can do nothing but watch the flashy images go by on the television while they're ordering new trendy gadgets on Facebooks, all while they melt into the sofa and they can't tell apart their calves from the couch cushions. No, sure, that's not me. There's a reason we had shame, and it's time we bring some of that back. It's a tool we need. But when you talk about shame, you know what that brings to mind. That's Amazon Prime's Rings of Power. Amazon has been suspiciously quiet about the Rings of Power viewership in the 2 weeks since the first season concluded. Now, I got to tell you something. Well, right before I turned the camera on, I had set up all my tabs so I could look at the articles. And my brain, I don't know where I was. I just clicked something, and it was a New York Post story, and it was talking about how you could pay like $57,000 to experience what it was like to be buried alive. You don't believe me? Here it is. Look at it. Would you pay $57K to experience being buried alive? And I was like, it's a Russian company saying you can have your own funeral, but that doesn't matter. I was like, $57,000? No. All you got to do is wait for one of Prime's promotions. They'll give you 30 days free and watch Rings of Recycled Fantasy. Something was suspiciously absent from Amazon's quarterly earnings release Thursday. Any new viewership numbers on its prestige Lord of the Rings series, The Rings of Power. The Nielsen ratings haven't come out for the last few weeks, but when they were out last, it was for episode 5, and we saw Rings of Recycled Fantasy drop all the way to number 4. It's behind Dahmer, Cobra Kai, and House of the Dragon. That's why Amazon Prime is quiet. The only thing they're doing right now is either making excuses or they're having their actors talking about how they've broken every benchmark in fantasy, as the first black female dwarf, as the first black elf. What about their ratings they were promoting? Huh? Anything to say, Amazon? Nope. Nothing? Okay. The difference in interest in both series was also reflected in social media conversation. The House of the Dragon hashtag on TikTok has over 7 billion views, while the Rings of Power hashtag has nearly 800 million. It could be because Rings of Power struggled to attract young viewers that drives online engagement. According to Nielsen data released earlier this month, 71% of its audience was 35 years or older. The reality is they wrote a horrible story, and then they put it all on the shoulders of 2 inexperienced amateurs, who I call the Bobbsey twins, Payne and McKay, who spent 10 years with one failure after another. Now, I don't have any problem with anyone failing. Failure builds the muscles that teaches you how to stand up. But there comes a point in reality. And they had shared it in a Variety article about 6 weeks ago where they said, there would be times where they had the perfect director for a film, the cast, the money, everything in place, the studio, and then it would fall apart. When that happens 10 years in a row, it's kind of like that old saying about assholes. Meet an asshole in the morning, you met an asshole. Meet one in the afternoon, you met an asshole. You meet them all day long, guess what? You're the asshole.
How many assholes we got on this ship anyhow?
Well, they're the ones who failed. It's not for them. They couldn't make it in movies, so they went to television. If this had been half of what they promised, I probably would have been putting bells on and dancing a jig. If they would have just kept faithful to Tolkien, I would have loved it. If they had butchered some of the scene, that's okay, but look at the heart and love in it. And that's because Hollywood continues to pave over everyday people's opinions. They want to cater to the blue hairs, the virtue signalers who provide nothing to society. But see, anytime the blue hairs actually start to think, you get the media that comes jumping down out of the roof like they're a SWAT team. They throw a rib condom over their craniums to numb their senses to reality, and then they pump them full of painkiller beliefs. What the virtue signalers don't realize is their goose is cooked. They're done. Their brains are already set. They've been sterilized, desensitized, and assimilated, transformed into a human meat suit whose life's grease is going to be used for the corporate machine. If they don't wake up soon, they're done. But you and I, we know better. So you get out there, you lead by example, and let them hear you roar. We never bow down. We never bend the knee. Firmly, defiant, step up, stand tall, and get busy living your best life now, always forward.
E le sole